Currently at Hillman 116. Jason's just having a mooch. He'll let us know if there's anything worth seeing. Doesn't sound as though there is. But this was the site of a rather large battery and bunker complex, I believe. So we're going to have a wander around and see what we can see. So this is a 7 by 8 square metre reservoir which stored vital water drawn from a nearby bore. After the war it was filled with earth and rubble. It became a bit of a legend until it was cleared in 2002. So a water reservoir with what looks like a couple of bullet holes in there. So a little bit of a interesting structure, which we will have a look in a second. So it has some vents, so it must be a fairly deep, quite wide expanse. So if this was part of the bunker, it's probably just for ventilation. If anybody knows differently, please let me know in the comments. And you can see by its position, if you can see that, it's you can see the sea. So this would have been vital to the German defences in World War II, 1944. So more vents. Open to brook, which looks like we can get in. Jason's already on the trot. So I'm just going to go down and have a look inside, see what we can see. Wow. They've still got a drinking water storage container.
I didn't know that this thing about these vents.
Defensive.
Yeah, I did.
Bit dark in there. Have you got your torch? Alright, and this was a Kazi. Somebody who emptied the buckets.
Yeah, it probably would have been buckets.
Or it could have been like a larder, I suppose. difficult to tell. Alright, bonjour.
Bonjour. Is one locked as well?
Yes. So we'll have a little look in that one in a second. So you can actually see the vents for the ventilation. They always had two for a reason. And little known fact by some is that if you grenade one in the top, it would go around a U and back out the bottom as a defensive measure.
Oké. En een overdruk creëren waardoor dat je lucht krijgt. Dan kan je goed zijn op die pijp.
So we've just gone up inside the Tobruk, and you can see some paint on the walls telling you where certain things are, so there's anywhere to look. And if we look up from where it says Wistrium, you can't see it because over the years trees have grown. But if we come round straight in front is Colville. Rather interesting structure that if we follow it down, all it does is it goes under the bridge and up the other side, but it shows that even that was needed to be a fairly protected even place. So we now approach a bunker entrance. Although this says it was a cook house. So we'll just have a little look-see. A lot of the gates on the things are locked, which is a bit of a shame. I think they're missing a trick that if they were to kit them out a little bit, increase the visits, charge some money, although it's nice that it's free. So you can't really see a lot in there, guys. There's some rather naff photos, but it might give you a rough idea. Oh, there's still a few bits in there. There's an old bowl on the table. Some pots and pans still hanging up actually, so that's a shame it's not open. Possibly a place for storage. And as you come up, we're back out onto the main road. So we'll just go back through from this side. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
So the task of this post was to stop any approach from Colville. The post was on the Suffolk Regiment's line of advance. The breach made in the defences by A Company is nearby. So the Suffolk Regiment is a vital part of history here. So we just go down And again, see what we can see. A little bit silly really. If we'd known we were coming, we could have put a torch in the van, or the Dodge I should say, but we didn't. So there we go. Possible escape hole. So we're going to leave that one there and we're going to head out over, see what we can see. So as we cross this road, you can see that we have an entrance to another bunker. So we'll see what this one says. So this is the eastern guard post. And from this post, the defenders had a commanding view towards the east. So their task was to defend the site main entrance. Their raking fire crossed with fire from the northern guard post, which we've just been in. So this was the 1st Battalion, the Royal Norfolk Regiment's task to capture it. Strong Point Rover. And their route took them close to the Hillman. Still active shell and mortar fire directed by this post halted the advance, causing some 40 casualties. The battalion lost 23 men on D-Day. So it looks like it's all filled in, unfortunately. It's a bit of a wreck, this one, and very, very dark. So we won't be going in there, but we're going to head on out back, see what else we can discover. So as you can see, it's a Hillman and it's a memorial to the Suffolk Regiment. So as we come through, you can see a map. So this was built to allow the Germans German vehicles to cross the trench. The whole site here covers 24 hectares, 600 by 400 metres. And over here we have an example of some of the obstacles that the Allies would have faced. So obviously the infamous barbed wire, the beach emplacements, hollow, so that there was no real hiding place, and that German fire could go through the gaps. Same with these wooden structures, designed to stop all sorts of things, from landing craft to all sorts, and of course the hedgehogs. So a good example together there of D-Day defences. And as we all know, it's reported that it was all the brainchild of good old Rommel. So a short walk over this way, and we come to the memorial. So this was an R605 type building, which we'll have a closer look at in a minute. It was a shelter for both vehicles and guns. Could be 8 to 12 people working in the central room. was close by this place on the 7th of June 44. Colonel Krug and 70 of his men emerged from their underground command post and surrendered to the Suffolk Regiment. And since 6th of June 1989, this bunker has been the Suffolk Regiment's memorial. And it says there that Madame Suzanne Lenold gave this blockhouse to the Suffolk Regiment on the 7th of June 89 in commemoration of the liberation of Colville-sur-Orne by the British Army on the 6th of June. And if you come up inside here, you've got another typical defensive position, which would have looked over quite a long way. So the killing ground there would have been horrendous. So obviously some of this would have been added at a later stage. Don't know exactly what you can see. There's old tank wheels and pictures on the wall and stuff. So they must, the veterans must get access to this at times, I'm assuming. That would lead you to the electronics, but there's a couple of bits where it would have been opened. And then good old British Tommy. In here you can see that it's been turned into a bar and a little bit of a mini museum, I would suggest. So as we walk back up this way, we'll come over the top. And you get a broader picture of what is here. We'll just get a close-up of their commemorative stone. Hope you can all read that. And over this way there's a bit more information about the area. You might be able to pause this and read it at your leisure. Somebody from the Royal Anglians. Got the Suffolk Regiment, obviously the French Municipal of Colville. And of course you've got the Suffolk's flag flying in the wind. So we have some different reenactors from around La Francais by their accents and their berets. And here we have some bikes. So Jason's just given me the heads up on this one. He said come and treat yourself. So I'm coming down here. Good to see that it's still wood in place. I don't know if that will have been replaced over the years. But, so here we have the back of another bunker. There should be a sign up there which I'll look at in a second. Always a little bit of a shame when... So I take this as another Tobruk up here. So no need to go up in that one, guys.
Look at the state of the concrete. I mean, down that end is especially sort of thing, you know.
So this is all locked. Obviously you got the ventilation
Look at the
again.
And this one, they didn't want to give this one up.
This is well battered, isn't it?
Mm.
So this is a shame that they don't open these, because this looks like it could be quite a big,
There's no face left on
big
this one at
bunker.
all, the whole thing.
But it is
Corner.
proper peppered. You can see that this was a hard fought place to take. I mean, the wall, you can see they've tossed grenade after grenade down here because of the walls. But that machine gun fire, of course, and rifle fire.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
You look at the shape.
let me just come over there a bit,
All
mate.
of that is hidden.
Yeah, right the
That's-
way forward to
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or is it that one? I
Yeah,
suppose it is,
There's
isn't
another
it?
one marked on there.
So you can see from the map, guys, at the top end, that would be that forward place, if I can get it in the camera. Helps if you remove your shades. And you can see the angle of where everything is. So this had a longer tunnel than Command Post A. A coal bunker was added on the right of the machine gun turret, which is obviously that bit there. Germans had to dig out some 1,950 cubic meters of earth and use 990 cubic meters of concrete, as well as 45 tons of steel. Small rules, ink pots and bits of laminated maps were found here, and suggest that the bunker was a general administrative office. So this would have been the HQ for the area. And that probably brings our visit here to the Hillman to an end. And we're going to head on somewhere else and try and bring you some more footage.